Thanks for joining us on our video series here. First of all, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, Daniel. Nice to meet you. My name is Joseph Lombardi. I'm the manager of our sales engineers at Ottimate. I'm also a former end user because when I was in a CFO and controller role, I used the software extensively, and I was really excited to join the team and help build the product and find solutions for other clients like myself.
Awesome. Should I call you Joe or Joseph? I feel like I've been calling you Joe. I didn't ask you.
Joe is fine.
Okay.
And, Daniel for you?
Daniel for me. That's
Right,
great. That's
great.
great. Perfect. So, I know you have always been able to handle purchase orders, right? I understand they sync between the two systems. You can match them. I heard that y'all now have subcontracts doing the same thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So earlier this year we did release our purchase order product, and now we're happy to announce that we can support subcontracts within Acumatica as well. And the great thing is that the functionality is the same as what is for purchase orders. So we'll be able to bring your subcontracts or your commitments into Ottimate. We'll even identify them with their own subcontract label.
Okay.
And then when your invoices get uploaded into Ottimate, we'll automatically link that invoice to the subcontract using the subcontract number on the invoice. And then once everything is matched together, we can send the invoice back to Acumatica already linked to the subcontract, making a very seamless process for the end user.
That's awesome. So data pushes between the systems. There's no dual entry, right?
Right.
You're just pulling all the data
Right.
from Acumatica.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in fact, there doesn't have to be any data entry by the user if your Ottimate environment is set up where it's already going to recognize the vendor. Since we brought in that subcontract, once that invoice gets linked to the subcontract, everything's set to go. You can send it right back, and it's all done for you.
That makes sense. So you're pulling in cost codes, projects, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
all the I think they're sub accounts.
Yeah. So we talked about a little bit about dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain to me, that sounds like a flexibility piece for the software.
Yeah, so with our enhanced dimension support, which is what we call it here at Ottimate,
Okay.
We're able to replicate the user's mapping environment within Ottimate. We can download the structure of all the sub-account or other dimensions that exist within Acumatica, allowing the users to then use that same mapping structure within Ottimate, ensuring seamless data entry when those invoices get sent back over to Acumatica.
Oh, cool. So what about if you've got, let's say, a non-standard field? Is it possible to pull something like I set up a custom user-defined field in Acumatica?
Yeah, so you can have custom defined fields in Acumatica. We can also set those up in Ottimate and transmit that information. We also have some clients who request additional custom fields. Maybe they want to track specific data just within the Ottimate platform.
Okay.
There's a lot of flexibility there for sure.
That's awesome. And so let's say we bring it into Acumatica. You've got a subcontract. You've got all the information related to it. And now I need it to be approved based on some of that information. How does that work in Ottimate?
Yeah, great question. So we built a rules engine that allows users to set up approval policies and structured or sequential approval policies based on any type of criteria that exists on the invoice. So if they're mapping to specific job codes or cost codes within Ottimate, those job codes can then become the criteria that trigger different approval policies. So if you're a project manager and you know that you're the one who wants to look at the invoice first after it's linked to the subcontract, it's very easy to set that up, but then you can have another layer of approval policy on top of that in case your superiors or maybe an accounting administrator needs to see it after that.
Okay. And can these be sequential and like you can have, is there a limit?
There are no limits. You can build stage upon stage upon stage. Although I would say, if you get to like 6, 7, 8 stages of approval policies, are you really that automated? You might be kind of stepping outside of your comfort zone there.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I feel like the max would be maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have the project, so the project manager approves, for instance. And then you have maybe the department head or something like that approve the big ones and so on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, very cool. That's exciting. That solves for a lot of problems for our customers.
Yeah, no, it really does. And frankly, our goal with Ottimate is to have touchless AP. And this is just another step towards that exciting future that we want to live in.
That's awesome.
I'm Joe Lombardi. I'm the manager of the solutions engineers here at Ottimate. And so really quickly, we're going to go through creating a subcontract in Acumatica, importing that into the Ottimate platform, uploading an invoice, and then connecting that invoice to the subcontract in Ottimate, and then exporting it back to Acumatica. So first, let's just create this subcontract here. And I've already done a template for this, so I'll just create that template here. And I'll remove the hold so that it gets posted. So now we have this subcontract in the Acumatica platform. If I jump over to my environment here, go to my purchase orders, I have received. So we can see the last purchase order we have is number 22. And if I jump back to Acumatica, you can see that we also have 23 here now. It's right there. So let's bring that into Ottimate. I'll just click sync from ERP here. And when I go to received, now we can see I have this number 23 PO here. If I look at it, it shows all the information that is the same as what it is in Acumatica. So we've got particle board and plywood, same amounts, everything looks good. All right, now let's bring in that invoice here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our instant capture tool, which allows me to upload invoices instantly into the Ottimate platform. I'm going to select the invoice that I want to upload, and now it's been uploaded there. So I go to my instant capture tool, and it's showing that it's processing currently. So we'll just let it process here for a few seconds while we wait for that to come. All right, let's see here. What's going on? Oh, there it goes. It's ready to capture. Okay, so as soon as I select the vendor here, we can see that we've captured the invoice. We've got the vendor here. We've got the invoice number here. We've got the date here. We've got the PO number here. And we have the different line items right here as well. We can see they're actually already mapped also. This is great. Everything looks good here. Even the total is captured. So let's create and open this PO. And just like that, we've fully matched it to the subcontract. As you can see right here, it's already matched. If I click review, we can see that it's linked to subcontract number 23. And I have the subcontract items here on the right and the invoice items here on the left. Everything is agreeing. We're in happy state. Now we're just going to click export here. All right, let's go back over to Acumatica. Here's the subcontract we're looking at. If I click billing here, we should see the invoice, and there it is. So I click on the invoice itself, and we can see it has the invoice number, it has the vendor name, all the information on there. Everything looks good. So we're successful here. And that's how subcontracts work with Ottimate.